What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of Zero Dark. Welcome everyone to Zero Dark, the best Call of Duty podcast here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. This episode of Zero Dark, guys, is going to be talking pretty much primarily about COD Champs and the results and, of course, our reaction to what transpired at COD Champs in 2020. And so with that, guys, I want to start by just kind of going over my overall, reaction to COD Champs and what transpired and what we can kind of expect moving forward here with the off season, and then, of course, moving into Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So with that, guys, I gotta say, this was the most exciting COD Champs, in my personal opinion, all time in Call of Duty's history. Just because, guys, the city-based, just structure now that the Call of Duty League presents is something to me really special. Obviously, guys, Dallas Empire taking the victory and winning in pretty dominating fashion was something really special. Dallas winning the very first ever Call of Duty League championship in the city-based format. And I gotta say, guys, that everything that happened, from all the different narratives based around the playoffs and things of that nature, this was something so special. I mean, so many round 11s, guys. Just incredible. Game 5s, round 11s. I mean, just so much of that. So many close matches that really showed, those players that are extremely clutch, those players that kind of didn't, show up in a major way throughout the course of the tournament and the playoffs, And I gotta say that experience certainly in championships and championship experience of the past definitely showed true at COD Champs here in 2020. So let's talk about it. Obviously, guys, probably one of the most exciting matchups that we had throughout the course of this whole thing was Optic Gaming LA versus the Chicago Huntsmen. The battle of, it was like the good guys versus the bad guys, right? And that was one that was incredible, guys. Went round, game 5, round 11. Unbelievable. Chicago Huntsmen pull that one through. Then, of course, Chicago meets a really kind of, later on into the tournament, facing off against none other than Atlanta FaZe was something really special as well. But we really saw, just very close matchups throughout the course of this thing. The Dallas Empire, though, I had predicted that Dallas versus Atlanta was going to be the final, but I had Atlanta winning it all, guys. I did not even have them being knocked down to the losers finals. I actually had them beating the Dallas Empire, going on to the winners finals, and then winning it all against Dallas once again after Dallas would be dropped down against Chicago. And there's a number of reasons why I felt that Atlanta was going to win. Kind of the young guns, and I thought that they do have championship experience, of course, with Simp being there, but I honestly, guys, I thought that, they were going to really be dominant, I guess you could say. Now, I did think that, Dallas and Atlanta was going to be a closer matchup than it was. We saw Dallas absolutely dominate in a number of ways throughout the course of that matchup against Atlanta FaZe, which was something really crazy. I think a lot of people wanted to see Chicago Huntsmen versus Dallas because of the E-Clasico, and it would be a great way to kind of, cap off the entirety of the very first year of the Call of Duty League in this city-based format just by the E-Clasico. People would have absolutely loved that, but I think that Atlanta was the better team. They deserved to be there, and they showed it, and, playing against Dallas, man, Dallas just went on a rampage, and I thought that was something really special. Crimsix, guys, which we'll talk about later on in the show, is now, in my opinion, the greatest Call of Duty player of all time. It's actually being talked about in a major way throughout the community at this point, but I even stated this. I stated and made a video before COD Champs that if Crimsix wins another world championship, he will be considered the greatest ever, and that's what's going on. Now, look, Clayster's won 3 times as well. He's won back-to-back. I can't take anything away from Clayster. Just an absolutely incredible leader, but also just a great player. and has shown, true and true throughout the course of the years. And so just all around, guys, championship experience that Dallas has been built around, between championship experience and the young guns being Ilya and Shotzi, something, guys, that I thought when we saw the totality of what was the Dallas Empire in their true form, man, they showed everyone that the experience is going to be a big thing here within the Call of Duty League. This isn't the Call of Duty World League anymore. This is the Call of Duty League, city-based format, and I think we're really in for a treat, guys, down the road here and along the journey. Very exciting first year. Congratulations to the COD League. I gotta say, had the highest viewership for the esports scene in Call of Duty's history, peaking over 300,000 viewers, which is great, man. I mean, obviously, you would love those viewers to be, you would want that, peak, viewership to be like 1 million or so, but it's a great place to start with the Call of Duty League. So this just proves to us that them going from what was the Call of Duty World League to now the Call of Duty League, the city-based format, is actually doing better than what people thought it would. And I think this is a great starting point for the overall, continuation now of Call of Duty, because now Call of Duty also has in its, arsenal, it also has Warzone to help promote the Call of Duty League as well, which is going to get people to, check out the Call of Duty League in years to come. Very excited, guys. And moving into the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War title this year, Treyarch, guys, it's going to be something special, I think. With having Treyarch now, they do a great job with multiplayer. This could be a huge year for Call of Duty, not just from, sales, which we all know. Call of Duty's best-selling game every single year, but from the esports perspective, this could be something really cool. But let me know, guys, what were your instant reactions to COD Champs this year? What did you guys think? What were the things that you wish would have happened? And where do you think we're going now with the Call of Duty League? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Call of Duty League content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Scumpy is one of my favorite players of all time when it comes to just Call of Duty, guys, and really just esports in general. This is a guy who has showed us a consistency over a long stretch of time. A 2017 world champion. We cannot take that away from him whatsoever, guys. The biggest thing that I've stated on the YouTube channel that I've had a problem with Scumpy on is his statements about the World Championship. And that being, guys, COD Champs is just another tournament. It's not necessarily the big one. It's not the Super Bowl. It's not, the World Series of Call of Duty, which it is, in my personal opinion, guys. COD Champs is everything, and it all comes down to that. In the past, guys, in the past formats of the Call of Duty World League, you would have different stops along the pro circuit, and each of those events, if you won those, it was like winning an actual, the World Championship. But the World Championship is definitely separate to this one. Think of it like tennis, guys. Think of tennis. The big one is Wimbledon, right? You got all these other, different tournaments in tennis, but the big one, of course, is Wimbledon. And the same thing can be said for soccer or football. You can think of it from that perspective that there's a lot of stops. There's the UEFA Champions League, the Premier League, but you also have to realize the big one is the World Cup. And so if you go from a year-to-year basis, probably UEFA Champions is the biggest one, but the World Cup is the creme of the creme, right? And so that was one thing that bothered me when Scumpy stated that, if you win all these other tournaments, it's okay. COD Champs is not the end-all be-all, which to me it is. And so that was one thing that bothered me, what Scumpy has stated in the past. But nonetheless, guys, let's talk about Scumpy at this point in time, because we know what Scumpy has done for Call of Duty, and people putting him in the top, 20 or even the top 10 greatest all-time in Call of Duty is unbelievable to me. I mean, he is a top 5 player without a doubt. Sure, he's only won one world championship, but at the end of the day, guys, You have to look at the totality of what he has brought to the table and what he's done for the scene, because I believe that he has done more for the scene than any one individual Call of Duty player, and it's not even close. I mean, the amount of, the numbers he gets on Twitch and on YouTube, and he does the same thing pretty much on YouTube that he's done for years now. He has done an absolutely incredible job over the course of time and has a very passionate fan base around him. However, at this point, guys, after watching what transpired at COD Champs this year, we see obviously now, in my opinion, Crimsix is now the greatest player of all time, which we'll get to here later. He's taken the title from Karma, in my personal opinion, and I'll give you guys the reasoning to that later on in the show. But as far as Scumpy is concerned, some of his performance actually at COD Champs was okay, but I just don't think, guys, at this point in time, he's that guy anymore. I don't think he is that clutch guy, that guy who's going to get you over the hump to, really still win championships. Now, sure, they were competing for a championship this year, and I think that each year that he plays, he actually, they will be a contender. However, I think Scumpy's focus needs to be on streaming now, on content creation now. He's done so much for Call of Duty from a competitive perspective. I think now it's time for him to do his thing as a streamer and as a content creator, be full-time on that, and that's going to be another way that he can help raise the bar for Call of Duty as a whole. He's still a great player, but him creating content consistently and not having to worry to compete, I think that that's where his focus should be. Because, being a world champion is great, and you want to be a world champion more than one time, but I think that he's done everything that is, when you talk about a prestigious player, he's done everything. And so at this point, I feel that if he does play one more year, it should be his final year. But in my opinion, I think it's time for Scumpy to move on. Look, the Chicago Huntsmen have some young guns there, guys. Championship experience all the way around. Between Scumpy, of course, but also Formal, Arcides. I mean, you've got even Envoy, who's the new guy, who's like up and coming now. Absolute force to be reckoned with. And, if we're going back to 4v4 in Call of Duty, which it's not confirmed yet, we don't know, at least at this point, I think it's time for Scumpy to step away. Because unfortunately, he's just not that guy anymore. Crimsix proved at COD Champs this year that he's that guy. He is still that guy who can clutch up in the biggest of moments and close out games. Whereas Scumpy, he's shown us that he's not the guy anymore. The guy now is, you could argue it's Envoy now for the Chicago Huntsmen. And that's not a knock to Scumpy. He's one of my favorite players, guys. He's one of my favorite creators on YouTube as a whole. And so I want to see him do that, though, now. Because I'm just sick and tired of hearing all of the backlash against Scumpy's name and that, he's just, he's not even a top 10 player. That is blasphemous. And I think he's proven, they made it all the way to the losers finals, guys. And so they were one step away from the championship. And so what I'm getting at here is maybe he feels that they are good enough to get to the championship. Well, I'm sure he does, but I just think that his talents should be used elsewhere. And just being in content creation and in streaming and such, he could really help continue growing the Call of Duty scene in a major way by just being a content creator and streamer. And I think he's really helped elevate Call of Duty esports in a major way. But now it's time for other guys to step up to the plate and take us to the next level in the Call of Duty League. And that's like guys like Simp and Envoy and all these different young guns, Illy, Shotzi. It's time for those guys to be the ones to take us to the next level. Scumpy has done his thing. He's done his part. He's basically done everything that he needed to be known as a very prestigious player, one of the greatest of all time, top 5 in my personal opinion, guys, and it's not even a debate. But, look, I am very excited for Scumpy that he's, as to what he's done, but I just don't think he's that guy anymore. He will not be able to take his team to, kind of get them over the hump, I think, especially with what we've learned from this year to what's going to transpire most likely next year, that being, with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War being most likely 4v4, which means that all these teams are going to have to get rid of one of their players. I think some of the veterans are going to be knocked out of their teams, to say the least. But look, guys, I am so thankful for what Scumpy's done. And whether he decides to play again, I'm of course going to support him. But I just think it's time to step away and to really start building, upon content creation, streaming, which he's done, but just doing that on a full-time basis could be something really special, man. But let me know, guys, what do you guys think? Do you think Scumpy's got more left in the tank, or do you think he should be done? Let me know what you guys think. And for more Call of Duty League content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Big up to the Dallas Empire for pulling out, guys, what was a historic win in dominating fashion at COD Champs 2020. And look, they deserved it, guys. They were very hungry for it. They heard all the noise. Crim6 heard all the noise, and people making fun of this man for, stating that he never forgives, he never forgets, and lots of people memeing him on that and such. And now look at where they are. They won the very first Call of Duty League World Championship in this city-based format, and Crim6 is the MVP. And now, to me, as well as many others in the community, he is the undisputed greatest of all time. And we'll kind of break this thing down, guys, as to why. And so, look, Crim6 has not won just one or two, but 3 world championships at this point in time, tying Karma as well as Clayster. Clayster on the same team and on the Dallas Empire also has won 3. So now you have 3 players that are, to say the least, tied for, 3 world championships, which is a major deal. But I'm going to tell you guys why Crim6 absolutely is undisputed at this point. He's the winningest player of all time. The one thing that he didn't have on Karma was 3 rings, and now he does. He's the winningest Call of Duty player all time. On top of the, most earnings, which at the end of the day, guys, when it comes to earnings, I don't look at that as you're the greatest of all time because of your earnings. You're the greatest of all time based on world championships and just winning at the end of the day. He has the winning formula, guys, and it's not even a debate. Clayster winning back-to-back is a major deal, and he's going to have, we'll see what happens next season, but these two it's a match made in heaven, in my opinion. Met with Illy, Shotzi, and Hook they're a fantastic team. They deserved being world champions for sure. Crim6, though, guys, why he is now the greatest, not only because he's the winningest, but because Karma has been known as the GOAT. But the one thing that's bothered me about Karma and what he's done as far as, how his career has kind of taken him, he's just felt at times that he wasn't fully dedicated to the game. And I'm sure a lot of these players, year in and year out, they're not like, there's going to be games here and there that they're not fully committed. Crim6, though, is different. He's been committed from the very beginning. Now, of course, coming from Halo over to Call of Duty, he's been committed, guys, to this thing. And Karma, he's kind of stepped away, then he's come back, he's kind of stepped away. It reminds me, guys, of Michael Jordan. And I've stated this many times that, LeBron to me is the greatest over Jordan. And it's not just because, when you look at it, it doesn't always just come down to rings to me. It's the totality of what you've done. And, MJ, not stating that he's not an incredible player, because he absolutely was. However, I've always stated that he stepped away from the game multiple times. And that showed me that he's not as committed as someone like LeBron, who's been there and is stuck with it. Michael Jordan took 18 months off for baseball, then comes back, wins more championships, then leaves again, comes back, and of course plays for the Wizards, which no one likes talking about that. But LeBron's legacy has been something that's been unprecedented by any player in the history of the game, and that's why I put him as the greatest ever. It's not always about the championships. It's about the totality of what you've done. Championships certainly play a huge part in that, guys. Don't get me wrong. But if you're going based on championships at the end of the day, when it comes to the NBA, Bill Russell is the GOAT, but I don't think anyone really puts him as the greatest ever. But I'm just stating, you got to kind of look at it and put it in that kind of perspective. I feel the same way with Karma. He wasn't 100% committed every single year to this thing. He stepped away at times. He'd been dropped and kind of moved on to other things. And I'm not going to take away those 3 rings because he deserved those. He is a grinder, an incredible player to say the least. But Crimsix has been dedicated since he entered into the Call of Duty scene, dedicated to this thing, has put everything into it. He is one of the most passionate players, if not the most passionate, player in Call of Duty, and it's not even close within its history. I mean, you could just see it. He wants to win more than anyone, and you can see that, and it bleeds through the screen almost, and we see it in his gameplay, his leadership. Clayster's another one. I mean, just incredible when it comes to that. They are competitors at the end of the day. The earnings, I mean, sure, guys, they want to get paid, but they want to win, and that's the difference to me about Crimsix and Clayster to that of Karma. Karma wants to win, but he's not as dedicated as that of Clayster or Crimsix, in my personal opinion. And it's shown. And now we see these guys who are getting older. They're like the old dogs in Call of Duty at this point, and they're still winning championships. Clayster coming off back-to-back championships is a massive ordeal, guys. So, look, when I look at the totality, and, we got all 3 of these guys have 3 rings. But then you look at like I said, the totality of it. And you could bring up earnings at the same time. But if you bring up earnings, obviously you got Clayster and Crimsix are about neck and neck. Karma's underneath them. You look at championships. They all have 3 rings. World championships, I should say. All have 3 rings. And when we talk about the winningest player, though, who's won the most tournaments and things of that nature, you got Crimsix. That's why he now is above Karma in my, as far as in my personal opinion, as the greatest ever. Now we'll see what happens next year. Can Clayster win 4 rings, and or can they both win 4 rings? Then there's going to be massive discussion, guys, about all of that. But at the end of the day, guys, Crimsix is the guy. He is the GOAT. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Clayster, the rest of the guys on the Dallas Empire. These guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with moving forward. It'll be very interesting to see how things change from, Modern Warfare to a Black Ops Cold War, because there's a lot of rumor and speculation that we're going to 4v4, which would be very interesting to say the least. But let me know, guys, what do you all think about this whole thing? About, Crimsix? Do you think he's the GOAT now? Do you think he's not the GOAT? What do you guys think about it? Is Karma still the guy, or you guys think it's Clayster, or do you think it's someone else? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Call of Duty League content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Now that we're going to be moving into the time of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which is a title I'm very excited about, to say the least, guys, this being like a sequel to Call of Duty Black Ops 1. I don't like the title that much. I wish it was called Black Ops 5, but nonetheless, the title does not mean the game's going to be good or not. It really comes down to the gameplay mechanics and things of that nature. Well, since we're going to be moving into the time of Black Ops Cold War, I want to give you guys my early predictions for the Call of Duty League based around Black Ops Cold War. So my first one, guys, is that I do believe that there's a lot of people out there within the community that want the Call of Duty League to go back to 4v4 in that format. Now, to me, guys, I don't think it's I think it's almost setting a dangerous, precedent when you're changing that format in a way every single year. Like, you have 1 year where it's 4v4, the next year 5v5, the next year after that 4v4, and you kind of go back and forth. It's kind of dangerous in my opinion. Like, you could lose a lot of those pro players and a lot of that exposure that they bring to the Call of Duty League over time. For example, if Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War goes in the direction this upcoming year for 4v4 instead of 5v5, a lot of the veterans may be pushed out and pushed to the wayside, to say the least, whereas there's been a lot of really great pro players that have been playing in the Call of Duty Challengers that probably deserve a shot at, having a pro spot, but now it's going to even get more difficult because if it goes down to 4v4. My personal thought on it, guys, is I like 5v5. I think it's a great, a great place to be. I look at the Call of Duty League, the numbers they did this year, and the growth that is coming if I think they just stay the course here. So I'm all for 5v5 in my opinion. You think of players, obviously Hex and like the Chicago Huntsmen are not going to be pushing Scumpy going to be kicking him off the team if it does go to 4v4, but those are scenarios that you have to think about. You got to think of, well, if these teams have to take away one of their players, which player is it that they're going to drop? And so you got to really think about those things moving into the next season of Call of Duty. And so I think that it started as 5v5. It should continue as 5v5, in my opinion. Now, if it goes to 4v4, I'm still going to be excited, but I just think that it's setting a dangerous kind of precedent for the future of the Call of Duty League because, going back and forth consistently, I just wouldn't really like that. I mean, you don't see the NBA or any other traditional sports out there changing their format in a major way from, having 5 players on the court to 4 players on the court or, things of that nature. And we know esports is different than traditional sports. But what I'm getting at, guys, is that when you have a format and it's working and you're growing and you're, all of these different things and it's a city-based format, I think that you need to kind of, if it's not broken, why fix it? So that's just my personal opinion on that. The next prediction for me, though, guys, and hope that we have for the Call of Duty League moving into Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is, I look at, all of what's been happening, obviously this being an online tournament, it's going to be really important, guys, that there are those home series, fans can go. And so I'm really hoping that's something that can happen. Obviously, guys, there has to be a significant amount of safety measures that are taken, but esports is nothing without the fans, guys. I mean, it really isn't. It's like traditional sports. I mean, sure, it's a lot easier for esports to be able to just host things online. It's probably the cost and such is probably, cheaper. But, for these teams in particular, they're expecting to make revenue based on, ticket sales. And I think that having fans, especially in the next upcoming season, would be absolutely huge. The narratives going around, guys, is Scumpy still that, I don't think he's that guy anymore, but if he comes back, can he bring Chicago Huntsmen their very first championship? Number 2, is Simp on a course to become one of the greatest players of all time? Number 3, can the Dallas Empire repeat and basically protect that title of being, the world champions? Can they go back to back in the very beginning of this whole thing, of the city-based format, after winning? Is Crim6 still continuing his legacy moving forward? I believe he's the greatest of all time. Is he going to continue that moving into the next season of Call of Duty here? Are there going to be trades? Who's going where? Who needs the most help? I would say the most help, guys, the LA Guerrillas definitely need a lot of help. I think that Paris Legion are definitely, a couple of changes could really help them in a substantial way. The New York Subliners, I think they might need to make some moves, as well as the Toronto Ultra. Especially if it's 4v4, man, there's going to be a lot of movement. But if they stay 5v5, I think that, to me, there's still going to be movement. There's going to be trades that are going to be made and such. I can't wait to see Roster Mania this upcoming offseason. I think it could be something really special. The other thing I would love to see is a draft. I want to see a draft from challengers where the teams can draft players that are like subs or whatever the case might be. The up-and-comers, I think having a draft could be something really special moving into Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It's another reason why I want there to be a 5v5 format, just so that there's more spots to be filled, essentially, and it kind of really elevates the competition continuously moving forward. The next thing I would love to see, guys, is for coaches for us to be able to hear coaches talking when we have the listen-ins for during matches and such. I think coaches should be there to be able to kind of call out plays and things of that nature. Bring the coach more into the esport. That could be something really special moving forward. We look at the coaches for all the other traditional sports, guys, and it's something, they become almost as big of a celebrity as some of these players are at this point in time. And so I'd like to see that moving into Black Ops Cold War as well. Other than that, though, guys, I mean, there's definitely certain things that we want there to be changed, right? We want the esports side of Call of Duty to be serviced in a way that, more so than what we saw Infinity Ward do, and I think Treyarch will do that. I do believe that they will be more responsive in making changes and things of that nature and not changing things at the last second before COD Champs and such. So I think that's going to be really important as well. Having the developer, the publisher, as well as the league all on the same page, because guys, we're really on this great trajectory in my opinion. I feel that the league is growing. This could be the next, NBA, the NFL. I mean, the CDL, guys, could be the next big thing. And we just saw like kind of a sliver of just what this potential could possibly be with the biggest numbers that Call of Duty's ever done as far as from an esports perspective. So the sky is the limit in my opinion. And I think that they're going on the right track here. They had the narratives going into the next season, I think are going to be crazy, especially depending on what happens with roster mania. I'm excited, guys. I really am. I have never been so bullish on Call of Duty as I am right here, right now. I can't wait. And let me know what you guys want to see. As far as roster mania goes, who's your favorite team and what players would you love to try to trade for? Or what are you guys thinking is going to happen here in the offseason? Let me know what you guys think. And for more Call of Duty League content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of Zero Dark. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive. And as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.